Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Brian James and this is DB Automotive. So it's been a little while since I've posted a video. I do apologise for that. For those that are following the channel, I sincerely do apologise. Life, things have been happening and I just honestly haven't had the time. Currently my wife and I are in the process of selling our lifestyle property. For those that are following the channel, you'll know why. For those that don't and are interested, you can go back through previous videos to find out why. For those that aren't interested, I just won't bore you with it. So we're selling our property and we're buying another property. The likelihood is that the other property we buy will not have a decent shed on it. So once the other property is bought, follow me and we'll go through the process of having a decent shed built on some land and all the details and things that involves. Currently I'm weighing up the option of two types of shed. So you've got just the one big shed of say 200 square metres. Now that does require council consent and there's lots of hoops and hurdles you do have to jump through for that. Secondly, here in New Zealand on a rural property you don't have to have council consent for a shed up to 110 square metres. So the options are one big shed or two smaller sheds. Now I am favouring the two smaller sheds because one shed can be used to store vehicles and the other one can be used to work on them. And I can set it up with decent lighting and we can have almost like a bit of a studio in there. Now you will be following me, I hope, and we can carry through with how we approach this decision and my mindsets as I go. Anyway, shall we get on to what's happening today? Okay, so today I've got two of the older vehicles out. I've got my HX Ute, that's a 1979 HX Ute. Now some of you may say, oh, well, if it's an HX, it should be 1978. For those that swallowed the Holden manual, well, yes, but it was first registered in 1979, so it was on the cusp. It was made in 78, first registered in 79. For all intents and purposes, it is a 1979 HX Ute. And my Bedford van, it's a 72 Beddy. So I'll tell you a little bit about the cars. So my pride and joy is my Ute. If you don't know anything about it, once again, go back into previous videos, you'll see why this has such a big special meaning to me. But anyway, now that it's coming into winter here in New Zealand, I will be not going to car shows as much. So, there's actually, to be honest with you, there's one massive car show coming up here in New Zealand. It's the inaugural Summer Nats New Zealand. So Summer Nats, for those that don't know, is the biggest horsepower party muscle car show you can go to in the Southern Hemisphere. It is mind-blowing, the Aussie one that is, up in Canberra. I've been to it twice and it's something that is bucket list item for most people. Not a lot of people get the opportunity to go to the Aussie one, so organisation here in New Zealand in cooperation with Australian Summer Nats setting up and doing Summer Nats New Zealand, I believe in the end of February, 28th or thereabouts of February. Luckily for me, it's 10k down the road. Yeah. So I'm getting the Ute ready for Summer Nats. Now, it's ready as it is. It's a really good Holden Ute, older Ute, but I want to, I've got certain things I need to do to it. I've got another set of wheels. They're Cheviot Hustler style wheels. I prefer them over what's on there now, the Ward wheels. And so I've bought an old set that we're in need of restoration. I've restored them. We'll get tyres put on them. We'll lower the front because present. The front's about yay much too much. With the front getting lowered, it's easy enough just to cut the springs, but I don't want to do that. I want to get a proper spring in there, purely because later on, when it comes to getting a warrant of fitness, which is what we do in New Zealand to keep vehicles road legal, I may need to have those springs back because that's what it was originally certified with. Now, I'm not lowering it onto the bump stops or anything silly like that. I'm just trying to make it flat and look aesthetically pleasing. Change the steering wheel. It's just little things like that. The LPG is in desperate need of a tune. I need to fit electric fans. It used to have electric fans. I need to fit electric fans once again, in case I get stuck in traffic, which at the summer nats I will do, and so it doesn't overheat. Although the LPG being tuned and changing the carburetor, currently I'm running an IMCO LPG system. It's running what they call a 425. It's the biggest carburetor that IMCO do, and to be honest, it's made for stationary engines, big V8 stationary engines like 454s and things like that. That's not what this car is. So we're dropping it back down to a 300A. I don't have a high horsepower engine, so I don't need the amount of fuel that a 425 or a high performance LPG carb will supply. I can get away with just a standard one. And that will save me a lot in fuel, which is a big thing, especially nowadays. Right, that's my Holden Ute. Bedford van, 72 Bedford van. I've always loved this. The van craze from the 70s, I remember the arse end of it. There were some amazing vans out there, and it looks to me as if that van craze is coming back. And so a lot of the builds that are coming out now are absolutely stunning. Now you can go online and have a look, but and hell, I followed Freiberger, and even he is getting back into vanning. So what's my Bedford van got in it? Okay, so it's running a 202 Holden straight 6, coupled to a Trimatic, a Holden Trimatic automatic transmission to an 8 3/4 Ford diff. It was a custom van back in the day. Various people have had a go at keeping it up or trying to make it better. I've picked it up fairly cheap. I've had this for about 4 years now, and realistically I haven't done anything with it. It does run, but you do need half a can of engine start before it even looks at starting to run. When it does start, it sounds good. So obviously we're going to have to do a service on the straight 6 and get that to the point where it actually runs well. Quite often just fresh fuel will do that, but we will find out. Once I get all the running gear done, I'll also need to recondition all the braking systems through this. I'm going to get wheels. Now, a lot of parts, so different seats, wheels, a lot of parts I've got just lying around. So it'll be put bits and pieces onto the van. It'll be as cheap a build as I can make it. Now, it's going to take me a couple of years, 3 or 4 maybe, even to just get to do this. But I mean, why not? It keeps me off the road. All my other cars currently turnkey, and I love them. I love driving them, don't get me wrong, and I've said it many times before in previous videos. I just love to drive. But I also love to tinker and play with cars as well. This one's Rego on hold, so once I get rid of all the rust, we will give it a spray paint. Now I'm in 2 minds. It is a custom van from the 70s, but it never had the big mural on the side. So I can either paint it back to this greyish colour or a single colour that I like. Now I am partial to dark green. I don't think the bodywork will ever be good enough for me to put a highly glossy dark black light green colour on there. I can paint it white with free candy written on the side. I can put advertising on it. I'm very partial to Woodstock bourbon, so I can make it into a Woodstock vehicle. Or I can get out my airbrush, which I haven't picked up in years, dust it off, blow this a neutral colour, and put a nice mural on the side. Now, I think that the Conan warrior with a couple of scampily clad women or a wolf or two by his side is very cliche, but that's what I remember from the 70s. Another thought I was going on was I'm partial to punk music. I can have a big anarchy symbol on the side of it. I can do all sorts of things. I can even have I also like Pink Floyd. Now, that's an interesting one. I can have the cover of Dark Side of the Moon airbrushed onto this. And so the laser light, the white light that goes up into the prism, I can have as a pinstripe going up into a prism, and then around the back, done in, say, House of Colour, the rainbow colours that come out of the prism, and I can have them go around the back of the van into the prism again, so it's like an endless loop. And I can do that in, say, a House of Colour candy, those primary colours, and in those primary colours I can have words from the songs from Dark Side of the Moon. So okay, yeah, you can see that I've given it a bit of thought. Inside we're looking at the full 70s treatment, a bed, a partition, say a Ace of Clubs type partition, shag pile carpet everywhere, and a decent sound system. So I can go to car shows that are for a full weekend, sleep in the back, and just have fun. Let us know what you think in the comments below. I'm actually really keen to hear what you think I should do to this van. Yeah, so that's an update for what we've got happening this year. If you like what you hear, if you're thinking it's something that you could be quite partial to, once again, let me know in the comments below. Hit like and subscribe. We're, down here somewhere are the like and subscribe buttons. And look, I'll let you get back on with your day. You guys have a great day, and thank you very much for taking the time to watch. Okay, bye.